Hey guys, massive welcome back to the UKBeef TV. No bullshit, no BS bodybuilding podcast, and we are joined by a couple of massive lovers. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, we're joined by IFBB Pro Jamie Dorego and IFBB Pro Darren Farrell. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good, man. All good, really good. Just happy to be here, and we'll see you in a while.
Don't worry. we're not happy to be here.
Yeah. The travelling's getting to us, but we're dealing with it. But yeah, it's nice to be back home in Birmingham, and nice to well, I don't know if it's nice compared to Dubai, but
It's
a little bit cold, and
it's a bit cold for us. We're
it's
not
the coldest part of our world tour this year.
We're used to hot weather, so we're all hooded up and trying to stay warm when we're in the gym.
This is summer. This is summer.
This is like summer for you guys. This is
summer.
Horrible for us.
You can see t-shirt.
Yeah, hooded up, cold as hell. But yeah, it's nice to be back anyway. Just to see everyone, especially people that we know around bodybuilding. So it's nice to see everyone in the gyms and get some sessions with Aaron here.
Kill me off.
He's nearly dying.
Cheers, Mike. Delcy. Tosser.
Yeah, so guys, if you want to watch those training sessions, they'll be available on UKBeef TV, YouTube, and these guys' Facebook. We'll splash you all across social media. Dean, Aaron, how are you girls doing?
Always good.
Fucking dying, man.
Always good. I got to witness the leg session yesterday, and tell us how that went down, Aaron. Because when I walked in, I just seen you collapsed on the floor. These two look fresh.
No, it's brutal. The thing is, I actually spoke to Mike about it, and it's completely different to what I'm used to doing.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm just straight sets, just straight in, out, done. Sort of 8 to 12 reps. 12 sets, that's it, done. Whereas this was more, it was like controlled negatives.
It's
force,
very,
it was just very...
It's very different. I mean, it's like, I always say to people, when you get used to a certain training style, then it's very easy for, say, me to be comfortable within that training style. Whereas if I was to go into like super heavy movements for 6 reps and I hadn't done it for, I don't know, 4 to 6 months, I'd probably die myself.
It's your comfort zone, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that for me yesterday and today, to a degree with back, was outside of my comfort zone completely.
Yeah.
But it was good because I fucking love it. I love that.
Yeah.
Thrive on that.
That's why I use the Gelsies as well, because I don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we'll never get used to that.
I always get my workout sent to me the day before, and I'm like, shit, this looks hard. Because I've trained them for a whole 12 months. And that was the hardest thing I'd done in my life. I remember I used to go like 3 weeks out from the show, think, how the fuck am I going to do this session today? So I mean, Mike would just put me on leg extension and be like, 100 reps, go. And you're like, this is a weight I can do 10 reps with.
I can't do 10.
I can't do 10 reps, and you want 200, but you're like, okay, I guess I got to go. So they used to try to break me every session, and that's where like I found like that I got my mindset from, because every session they'd try to break me, but I was that much like so stubborn. I'd be like, they ain't fucking breaking me. I was like, you can, until I can't even lift the weight, I was like, I'm still gonna fucking try to lift it. So I remember Lisa, I used to think, you fucking bitch, when I was doing my session. I used to say to her, I was like, you fucking bitch, but she knew I'd carry on going, and she just wouldn't, she'd make it even 10 times harder for me, because she knew I wouldn't give up. But every session they tried to break me, and every session I'd try not give up. So the combination together was just like,
the abuse that they put
they just abused me basically for a whole 12 months.
Sessions are easy for you.
So
basically.
so it was nice to actually get to hook back up with them and get them to do my training for my next pro show.
Training or abuse.
Yeah, or abuse, But
we'll get the abuse tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because we're actually going down to training tomorrow to film it as well, so that'll be interesting.
So how far are you guys out from comp?
So I'm doing the Irish show, which I decided 3-4 days ago on my plane. I was like, Darren, do you reckon I just jump in Ireland because I'm there?
This is basically how he decides all the shows. Literally, it's like if you're a week out, just gonna do it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I message Chris. What's Chris say? Good, go.
That's literally what Chris says to me. It's like, do it.
Pick tomorrow. That's the usual response.
Basically.
He'd be like,
pick tomorrow.
Especially because I've been ready for quite a while. So, my initial planned show was Lebanon in 3 weeks. But I'm in Ireland, so I'm like, fuck it, why don't I just do it? I was like, should I just message Chris? He was like, Chris, what do you think about doing Ireland in 13 days? He was like, fuck it, do it, you'll be better. I was like, okay. I'll send you pictures tomorrow. And he's like, do pics daily. So that's my next planned show is in 9 days. That'll be my second pro show, which will be interesting because there's a few guys that have been on the scene for a while there. Like you got Samuel Had, James Wellen,
Hamid.
yeah,
The thing is though, I mean, Hamid turned pro. I did that show last year.
Yeah, Ireland.
And obviously Hamid turned pro and he looked unreal. But I mean, James Llewellyn, who else did you say?
Sammy.
They're old guys, man. They're not really, they're not fresh. You know, I mean, James is. I mean, I love James to pieces, but he's not. He's the wrong side of 40. You know what I mean? He's.
It'd be interesting to stand against them anyway. Because
Absolutely. Yeah. No respect for him.
What I realised in New Zealand that like it was nice to see myself in the pictures after and be like, fuck, these guys are no bigger than me. Well, you know, I can hold my own against them. I know, like, I'm critical of myself, so I know I just need the muscle maturity and density that will come with another couple of years of training. But I know my shape and...
You're 26.
Yeah, my size can hold my own against them.
But you're 26.
Which is nice to know.
You couldn't. You're 26. Do you know what I mean?
Feel old though, man.
What are you even worried about?
It's funny because like everyone's like, oh, you're still young, but I'm like, fuck, I've been competing for like 10 years now.
You're 26.
Do you know what I mean?
Can we all say this together? You're 26.
So like,
How old are you, Jamie?
so even though I still know I'm young within the sport of bodybuilding, I'm like,
young in life, dude. I mean,
but I'm like, fuck, I've been competing for like 9 years.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I
well,
mean?
let's be fair. Most good pros don't get a pro
A
card
until they're
in the 30s
until they're 30.
still
30.
time for us.
They're still coming.
Fuck.
Get back on the phone to Chris. He'd be saying send pictures tomorrow. And get a prep lockdown.
Well, you know, and I know you lie about your age every time, but I think you're still
31.
26. Then,
No, I'm 31.
Yeah, so you've still got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, mate.
How old are you, Dean? Oh, he doesn't want to say.
37, nearly 38. Oh.
But look, about 20.
Jim Nazim, he got his pro card last year, he was 38.
Yeah.
Who's that, sorry?
Jim Nazim.
Yeah, Jem. Well, actually,
yeah,
Jem did the show that I did. He did the super. He did the supers, and he went pro there in the supers because the guy beat me, Esther. He won the overall. He was very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. That was like one person when you're backstage, you're like, fuck, it's not my day today. You're like, I was thinking I'll look on point here, but nah, I ain't got this shit today.
So you've two obviously done this whole new NPC worldwide circuit thing. What do you think of that compared to the old UKBFF? Because we were UKBFF.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, you were as well. I mean, what's your sort of...
It's weird because like they've changed it slightly, haven't they? Because obviously like, the Arnold's now is just an overall winner, whereas back in the day I think it used to be top 3 in the Arnold's, and the Amateur Olympia's gone to the top 3. So I mean, I found the standard at the Amateur Olympias has been really good.
Just made it more accessible for everyone, you know.
Yeah.
Like before, it was brilliant that you had an overall UK person and that was turned pro. It was really hard to turn pro and it was really prestigious. But at the same time, like you had some great guys not turning pro from here.
That probably could have done.
And like their careers could have
like
gone.
You
Like,
Dean.
yeah, Dean.
Like realistically, like
You know.
if you had the ability, if say you turn pro, like when they gave out the pro card per class winner, then you know if you get the funding, it might excel you to the next level. Do you know what I mean?
You just win your class 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, I did that.
No, but at the same time, you're there. You must be sitting there looking across in America, and some of the shows there where guys were turning pro, and they weren't fucking anything.
I guess it just opened it all up for the Europeans to do more in the pro circuit.
But even for the likes of me, man, if we were still competing in the UK and it was still that way, I would have to win an overall as a classic bodybuilder. You know,
Yeah,
I would have to win the overall. You know, how was I ever going to turn pro?
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair, is it?
No,
It's impossible.
Them categories.
it's pretty much impossible in the UKBFF to get a classic pro.
Yeah.
Realistically,
It never
now.
happened? No,
Never
no.
happened. It would never happen because the lineups of the
It was a big
light
bottleneck, wasn't it? That was
heavies.
the problem. There's a massive bottleneck, and there's people like Dean and you know other guys who missed out on that because it's such a big bottleneck. The thing is as well, it gets me. Everybody rants, oh, it's too easy to get a pro card. So no, you don't understand. It's easier as in there's more of them, but the fucking standard is so much better.
Yeah,
I've been at these shows. The standard is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think for example, the guys I beat in New Zealand, the guy who beat in my class went on the week later to win the Arnold's in Australia, and the guy who beat in the overall won the Arnold's in Australia in his tall class. You know, so that wasn't a bad stand. They both won the Arnold's.
Yeah,
Good.
You know.
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's
But it's just, I guess, give us more opportunities for us to all excel, and it'll put the UK on the map more.
yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we haven't. like realistically, we haven't really been that competitive worldwide as bodybuilders. You've got obviously like Diasha, but generally, it allows a lot more UK bodybuilders to come up and coming.
Hit the scene.
Yeah, and hit the scene. And especially it gives us like the younger guys more chance as well, because back in the day, like I probably wouldn't have maybe gone pro till I was 30, 31, 32 if I just carried on. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot harder, whereas it kind of gives you the ability to excel a bit sooner in a way.
Yeah, because at the time was when you had like Luke, Sass, those guys, you could see they're all going to be pros, but it would only be one every year.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a bottleneck, big
Yeah.
bottleneck.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Okay, it's my turn next. Your turn.
And the problem was as well, you could say, oh, we could do the Arnold's, but the Arnold's, you had to sort of suck up to get picked to pay to go and do the Arnold's. It was,
Yeah.
Big expense.
Whereas
as well.
now it's like, right, book a ticket, jump on a plane,
And go there,
and
straight
go,
away.
that's it, you're there, yeah.
Yeah.
When I did the Arnold Madrid, it was like, yeah, you can go and do that, but pay for it yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cheers.
Yeah, it's like I know I went through the process with my wife 2 years ago, and they were like, right, you got to fly back to the UK, she'd compete in the Scottish Grand Prix, and then we'd wait around and go 3 weeks later to the Arnold's in Madrid, in Barcelona. You know, she had to go and compete in Scotland for them to allow her to go to Barcelona to compete, and all of that was paid for by her. You know.
Yeah.
It's a big expense. It's
They
not
didn't even-
cheap.
No, they didn't even say hello to her at the fucking at the competition, the Arnold's. Then
That was UKBeef.
You know,
Yeah.
she's team UK, my fucking ass. She was just, you know,
Yeah.
Thrown back.
yeah.
Well, the same when I did the Arnold in America. I was sat next to Bill Turney on the plane, and we was having a nice chat all the way there, all the way back. I won the British, won 3 times. Simon rung Bill and said, "What's the chance of Dean getting his pro card now? He's won 3 times." Bill went, "Who's Dean?"
It's mad, isn't it?
You sat on the fucking plane next to him. You know who he is. He's
Yeah.
a dick.
But I mean, at least that's kind of gone now, and there's not as much. Don't get me wrong, I still think it's all, like I was saying, there's always going to be politics, and there's always going to be that aspect, whether it's in the pro league or in the amateur. But at least it's not as bad as it used to be, because it was bad.
Yeah.
You know, if you went to another federation, you got, like, I remember doing the PCA, and when I did the UK one, I had to get taken to the side, and Bill spoke to me. One was like, "You need to go speak to Bill," and I was like,
To kiss the ring.
"Yeah." They're like, "What are your intentions here?" And I'm like, "To compete, to win."
To fucking
Down
go.
on your knees.
And then as soon as that happened, I knew nothing was going to happen that day. I wasn't even going to place top 3. You know what I mean? Because
Because your tongue didn't go inside his ass.
yeah.
But the thing is, though, this bullshit is still going on. But they've just got this elite corner.
Yeah, I guess it's always going to be present in bodybuilding, isn't it? And that's why I say to people, just forget the politics, forget all the bullshit, just enjoy the process and be better, like the best you every year.
Compete
like,
against yourself.
Just compete against yourself, and you know, one day it'll be your day, and you know, a few times it may not. But as long as you just come in better and better, then eventually they can't deny you, and it'll happen.
Yeah, Dean. Eventually they can't do that.
Well, that's the attitude. The few times when I lost and I don't really think I should have, I was a little disheartened. I just thought, fuck it, I'll come back 10 times better next year.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
If you make that gap that big,
Yeah.
they're just going to look stupid if they don't give it.
Eventually it'll be your day. So that's what I used to say. Like last year I felt like things didn't go my way a few times, but I was just like, you know, you have the paddy after the show and you're like, oh fuck this, I'm not competing again. And then you have a bit of food and the next day you're like, okay, that, you know, I'm going to do another show.
And then you message Chris and go, "Check out compete next week."
Yeah.
Should we jump in Ireland?
Yeah. So,
How many bodybuilders you know who had that breakdown on the day and the estrogen's that high,
Yeah.
the hormones are out of the roof, never competing again.
I
next week,
think I've said
prepping
that
again.
so many times. I remember even like kicking off my fiance Steph after the show. I'm like, I'm never going to be good enough. Even at the UK show last year, I remember I did the show. I was like, I'm never going to be fucking good enough. I'm not fucking bodybuilding again. Then I'll be like trying to like run around Birmingham trying to find the best like takeaway open. Everywhere was closed.
Shit.
I remember like going back home. I was like, there's nothing to fucking eat. I was like, I'm just gonna have salmon and oats because that's all I had in the house.
Mixed together.
Literally, I just like trying to eat whatever I could. I had a few muffins left, salmon oats, having a big paddy, and then the next day I was like, got a flex shoot in the morning. I was like, do you reckon I shoot for flex? I went to shoot for flex, and then I was fine then. Do you know what I mean? I have my little paddy and then I'm back into
You
it.
filled upon salmon,
Yeah.
you looked awesome, and you thought, yeah, I can do this.
I don't look too bad in these shoots actually. Like, fuck it, I'll carry on bodybuilding. But yeah, you're always going to get that, I guess, like post-show. And that's why I say to people, like, just don't worry about, don't get so caught up on what happens. Just bring a better you every time. And eventually, like you said, they can't deny you eventually. You just got to keep on going. And it's easier said than done, because you're going to take a few hits and it's not easy. You know, you got to be strong mentally, but
I mean, like, just touching up on that. Like, obviously, you qualified as a pro in the ball, but obviously there was a long run of shows before that. Could you tell us, for the guys who might not know, a little bit about your run to becoming a pro? And
yeah.
just how that
So
went
I did
about,
Tunisia in the Amateur Olympia, and to be fair, that was one show where I had my paddy post show, because actually
When was that?
That was March. Was it start of March?
Start of March.
Start of March. Oh no, end of February. Sorry. So I did that show, and I honestly I was backstage and I was like, okay, this is my day, but no one's going to touch me today, because without sounding disrespectful, that's probably the worst heavyweight lineup I'd been in. So
I was setting the crowd that day because I travelled with them. And they walked out. And I remember I was videoing on my live feed, and I literally just laughed, because I've been at other shows with Jay and I've been like, oh, it's tight. He could be here, but it could be him. I literally went, fuck, it's.
Just smash it.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
even a
as well,
competition.
like-
it was like, you know, it was.
as well, I basically got first call at centre stage, front double bicep in the centre, and then they just took me out to the side, and I was like, what the fuck, like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that sometimes means he's just sticking to the side first.
Yeah,
That's what
it took from it, and it was
me
actually
and Ricardo were set there with the judges, and we were like, "Is that why?" And we kind of went to the judges, and one of the judges like went like that. Not his day. We're like,
Where did you come in that show?
I came fourth in it, but I wasn't in any pictures, so I don't know if they wanted. I don't like. Obviously it's all political. I don't want to get too involved in that. But Ricardo said to me, he's like, "You look the best on stage." As soon as I finished prejudging, he was like, "You smashed it. You look the best on stage." But he said, "You're not going to win today."
Is there any videos after that just photoshopped you out?
if you look at any of the photos,
Just a blur.
they're all cropped. They're all cropped. He's not in any of the photos. He's like,
So
off the side.
seriously.
So after that happened, you know, I had my little paddy post show, but like Ricardo said a few good words to me. He said, just go act like a pro. He said, you're going to be pro very soon, so just act like a pro. Go back at night and just act as if you're going to win. So that's all I did. And then obviously I kind of knew the outcome. And I was like, okay, take it on the chin. What's next? So then because I actually did Tunisia. I wasn't actually meant to do Tunisia. It was kind of one of those situations where I was like, Chris, Tunisia is like in 7 days' time. Should I just do it? And he was like, yeah, do it. Because my initial show was the Arnold's. So then obviously that happened. So I got back. I was like, okay, get back on prep. You know, have the night of that show off, I eat what I want. Then the next day I'm back on prep. And I had like, I think 2 weeks towards the Arnold Classic in Ohio. So that was my initial planned show. And then that kind of went all tits up because I got on my plane to the Arnold's, and then I got to customs at the airport. So after a 16-hour flight from Dubai, my ESTA failed. So it was inapplicable. So I got put in a jail cell overnight for 24 hours.
Even though Carlos the Jackal,
Yeah.
the drug mule from Mexico.
So I got
Chick-fil-A and Subway.
Yeah, so basically I kind of like blagged it that I was diabetic and I needed to eat. So I was like, look, I need to eat chicken and I've got baby rice on me. So they were like, where can we get chicken from? I was like,
I want
I
200
was like,
grams weight to the
literally,
ground.
I was like Chick-fil-A, do they do just plain chicken breast? They were like, yeah, okay, we can get plain chicken breast. So I'd go to them, I was like, oh, I need like 5-6 chicken breasts from Chick-fil-A. So basically they'd go to me for Chick-fil-A. I knew I had baby rice in my bag, so I was like, right, okay, I've got like maybe 300 gram of carb from baby rice. I can kind of make this work, because Chris was like, just eat what the fuck you want, like, it's stressful. I was like, nah, I'm going to try to stick to some sort of plan, because I'm in a situation where it's the worst situation I can be in, but if I can kind of stick to something, then I know I'm not going to go backwards. So I actually got better. So
You're like, what do you mean stressful? I've got my own room, I've got chicken and baby
Yeah.
rice, and I just got.
I was literally just like, this is
chill.
the most fucked up situation ever. there's no point me stressing about it. I've just got to laugh about it and just see what I can do. So I remember like going to the bathroom and washing the fuck out of this chicken breast because it was like full of like oil. Then I'd like weigh it out and be like, okay, I can make up like 4 or 5 ounce chicken meals for 5 meals. Okay, that's sweet. So I have like 50 gram of carbs with 1 meal, 0 carb the next meal, 50 gram carbs another meal. And then I did that for 24 hours.
In the prison cell.
Yeah, Chris, sorry.
I'm in Jamie, send me pictures.
Yeah.
I'm in jail, Chris. What the fuck?
And then obviously the next day, you know, I think I was in the cell from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. the next day. So literally I was like, and it was like a proper prison, like guys came in the orange, you know, the orange pullovers, chains on the fucking ankles and shit. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Even got handcuffed out at the airport. So I was in there for 24 hours and then I was basically escorted back onto the plane and onto the plane the next day for another 16-hour flight.
Just imagine like Con Air, imagine Nicolas Cage on this.
So it was
like they're like masks on, like spitting and biting, and James there like with his chicken breast.
Yeah, it was like 16 hours on the 16-hour flight, 24 hours in a cell, 16 hours on the plane home. So I hadn't trained for like 3-4 days. So I got back and I literally, as soon as I got off the flight, they'd take me to the customs bit in Dubai, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I don't want to, like, this is not a country I want to be going to see the officer in. So I go to see the officer, and he's like, where'd you train? I'm like, oh, I train at Benoist Gym. He's like, okay, cool, there you go. So because they're really supportive of bodybuilding in Dubai, they love it. So as soon as I told them, they're like, oh, you're a bodybuilder, you train at Benoist. I was like, yeah. Like, okay, there you go, there's passport, go. They just let me go straight away. Yeah. So that was cool. And then I got back, and the first thing I did is I went straight to the gym. I went straight to the gym because I left my car there, and then I seen Ricardo and these guys here, and I was like, oh, have a look at me, what do you think? And they were like, fucking hell, like, you absolutely peeled. Like, what happened? Like, even Chris was like, what the fuck? Like, jail cells and flights seem to get you absolutely shredded. So, like, they were like, go do Nepal. Like, Nepal's like next, like, the day after. It was, I think I landed on Thursday, Nepal was on Saturday.
Yeah, we literally went upstairs.
I went upstairs and everyone was like, book your flight. So I was like, fuck, there's a flight at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
You showed up to land in fucking Sweden.
Yeah.
You land in Sweden, you screwed us about it.
Well, the funny thing is Darren booked the flight and he booked the wrong fucking flight. So we go upstairs and I'm like, he books the flight and I'm like, when I got back home, I'm like, this is the wrong date. I was like, fuck, I need to find another flight. So I tried to find another flight and I was like, there's no flights from Dubai. So I actually had to drive to Abu Dhabi and catch the flight from Abu Dhabi to Nepal. So I flew Friday morning. So I got back obviously from the US Thursday. Bear in mind I hadn't trained since Sunday. Trained Thursday night. Got back on the plane at like 10 a.m. and then flew to Nepal and then competed on Saturday.
Did Chris get you to book in the prison cell for that night?
I think Chris was just like, he's flying again, he's sweet, like, he'll get better. And that was like the maddest sort of situation I've ever been in because...
You know, if this was X Factor, you told them your sob story, they're going, through to the next round, it's like,
it's funny though,
thumb, is it, or something?
They even had like Guy Sistiano message me, he's like, oh, you're the crazy fucker who did all that crazy travelling and got turned pro in a week after being in a jail cell and flying like 56 hours. So Chris obviously told people the story, but it was kind of like everything happens for a reason, right? And that's what it's kind of like. It was like, whoa, I worked out I'd flown like 56 hours in 7 days. Shit. Like in total, from the States to Nepal, States to Tunisia to Nepal, 56 hours. And when it all happened, I was like, fuck, like everything does happen for a reason. So this is obviously why, this was obviously meant to be. But it was a pretty mad situation, like, and a bit surreal, like turning pro after all that, in a way. So yeah, that's the story of how I turned pro.
So what happened with you then, Darren? You just turned up and won a show as normal.
Yeah, basically.
How can you follow on to that?
He had a planned show, turned up, won, done. So
yeah, pretty much.
All of a sudden, your story seems really shit. Well, I won the British 4 times. Yeah. Is that all 4 times? You went to prison for it, mate.
Went in a cell.
Where's your dedication, dude?
Went in a cell and ate chicken.
I didn't want it.
That's looking hilarious.
You did not want it enough.
I didn't want it.
Yes, then obviously Darren did his planned show that he had planned from day one.
Well, sort of. We planned for Ireland.
Yeah, we do plan for Ireland, but
Planned for
So you actually prepped for more than a week.
Yeah. I didn't think about it. I was going to go to Nepal as well, because I was like, they looked at me and I was like,
I wouldn't travel with him.
no,
jail
it
cells.
was, there was
I
like,
wouldn't risk it, man.
like there's a bit of a backstory, nothing like that story, but mine was, so I competed last year in New Zealand as well, and looked like shit, like absolute shit. I was terrible. But this year, like took things a little bit more seriously, worked with Jay all year, worked fucking from literally the day I got off the plane in New Zealand last year, started into a heavy off season with Jay, and I started getting quite a lot of attention as the year went on, like because the size I was putting on, people were just getting big, like getting a lot of things, like I had Bodybuilding with Borders, Studios, all these guys posting me, and I remember that morning in Nepal, Jay going to me, he's like, yeah, you could go, but you're going to make a statement this year, make a statement in New Zealand, turn up there and show people. So we flew there
and it happened. And that was obviously my first pro show, which was interesting. But I even said after the Nepal show, I was like, I was going there more for him, because my first pro show, I wanted it to be a show that I'd be like, okay, I'm stood next to this guy. And then as soon as I'd done it, I was like, oh, I'll just come with you. And he was like, well, you're there, so you might as well fucking do it. I was like, okay, so I'll do the show as well. But I was more there to make sure he was his best.
You make Aziz feel better. He's been prepping for his show for the last 10 years now. He's still got it planned, and you just turn up on a weekend.
Yeah, so that's kind of what seems to have happened with Ireland.
Yeah,
isn't it, I guess?
I'm a little more orthodox. I've chosen my show. I'm doing Toronto in 9 weeks. So like, I wanted to do. I was like, came off a lot of people were like, oh, you got a pro card now, just take a year, work for. I'm like, no, fuck it. There's so many people like win their pro card and they're just like, they sit back, and I'm like, no, I want to.
But generally, it's because they win a pro card, they're not really ready to win a pro card.
So, but I want to.
They're missing body parts. Or,
I feel like I'm getting better week. I've been getting better week on week, and I feel like I can grow into the show, and I feel fresh.
You want to also see
and I want to see. I want to do a big show and actually, put my name out there and actually show people that I'm serious about this. I'm not just fucking, like someone who's got my pro card VA. I want to actually do something with it and actually move and progress. The progression I made last year was amazing, but I feel like I can do that tenfold.
I think it's always you want to see where you stand as well, don't you? Like, you want to see where you stand against the other pros. That's the main thing. And once you know where you stand, then you can put a plan in place for next year. Like I always say to myself, okay, if I say make top 5, then the next year I got to make top 3. If I make top 3, the next year I got to make top 2. If I make top 2, the next year I got to win. You know what I mean? It's got to be a progressive plan in place. You can't just, if you don't turn up to your first show like you're ready, why not just turn up? If I place dead last, you're like, okay, well next year I got to make second call out, and that's a win. Do you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people just turn pro and then go straight into an off season, like you said, because they're not ready. But if there's a show next week, why not just jump in it and see where you do stand?
So what's his name? It was Derek Lunsford, turned pro.
Yeah, then won Tampa, and then went to Olympia and placed fourth in Olympia. So it can happen.
I think each time you're competing as well, you're getting that experience and you're learning how your body's going to look best for the day.
And you're getting your name out there because, judges are going to like to see, regardless of what you say, if someone keeps turning up, they're going to be known for turning, especially if they're consistent and turn up in shape. They're going to be known for that.
But also as well, from a business point of view, it's got the... we always say at the end of the day, unless you're sort of top 10 at the Olympia, you're never going to make an income solely from this. But what what people don't get, they see the prize and they think, oh, that's shit. You spend more than that on the prep. So yes, you do, but it's the doors it opens up, business-wise, opportunities. That pro card goes a long way.
Damn right.
So
especially
I feel like I've got a massive point to prove as well to people because I can say, any one of the three of you, did you know me before this?
I always saw you on Jamie's stories.
But other than that,
not at all.
I'll admit,
but a year ago, it
does make it does.
But for me, it's like for the last couple of years, everyone's known Jay, and everyone's been like, Jay's going to turn pro eventually. Nobody knew. Like I remember, most people, I'll say most people even close to me, if I mentioned wanted to turn pro, would have laughed behind my back.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've still got a point to prove. And I've got my pro card, and I'm actually going to keep pushing, and I'm not just going to be one of those fuckers who's...
So you're from Southern Ireland, so it's kind of... how sort of well known were you in Southern... Because obviously Southern Ireland is technically a different country to the UK, so how well known were you there? Is it RIBF? What's the UK?
But you didn't even compete in that.
No, I never
No,
even
it's
competed.
just UKBeef.
I did NABA Ireland,
Yeah.
and I actually did. The other show I did was UKBFF Northern Ireland as a men's physique competitor. way back when I was 24. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. No. You see all these people. Actually, one of the things you'll see a lot of these like UK coaches and stuff are putting up. Like, you got to be realistic with your expectations and stuff, and say like, oh, you talk about turning pro, you never even won a show. I never won a show. Never won a fucking show in my life. Never won a regional. Nothing. No. This was the first show I ever won. Won my class.
Which is crazy, really.
Yeah, it is.
Because like, you know, in a way, like I feel like I put my time in. I won shows, I lost shows, I won overalls, went to prison. But like, it's mad, it just shows what is possible if you do put the work in. It is possible. It's just, you know...
You're secretly hating on him.
Yeah,
You secretly
I was like,
hating on
must have got it in first time. It took me fucking 9 years.
The thing is, I've seen the side-by-side photos of last year in New Zealand, and obviously the shoot, and it's mind-blowing. It doesn't look the same person.
No.
And that's, what was it, 9 months, 12 months?
Yeah,
12 months,
12
exactly.
months. But it shows what's possible if you do work hard.
Yeah.
You know, if you're willing to invest the time and you put, you know, the hard work and the graft in, then it is possible. Yeah. But the majority of people can't do that for 12 months. They do like a month off season, then they dick around for 6 months partying, and then they expect to turn pro in, do you know what I mean, the next show with the 12-month prep.
You can see by Darren's whole attitude how hungry he is for
Yeah.
it, and the progression shows you the results.
So is why.
That he's not just fucking talking about it,
Yeah.
he's doing it. You can see, I mean, the fucking progress you've made over the last year or so is tremendous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you got that fire in you to say you're going to do that and 10 times more for next year. When you watch how you two train together, that's how you need to do it.
Yeah.
That leads us to what I was about. Do you find that sort of the environment you're in makes a difference? Because you two trained together for a while.
No, 100% it's him.
So this is the thing, obviously we're Ultimate Fitness trainers. Kind of last year when I was going for a show, I couldn't come to Ultimate Fitness, trainer Chris the Viking, trainer Randy, and it was like, it was that sort of, that environment, that sort of spurred. I was up here 2-3 times a week, but that spurred me on. If I was training in my own little gym in Dudley, as I do, you're not sort of, you're in your comfort zone, it's kind of, you don't, whereas where you are now, you're in the same gym as Big Randy, Ricardo, and there's how many pros did you say?
We've got 12 pros now, Jim.
So that really, you're kind of always, you know what I mean?
6 to 12 pros. I think there's 4 figure girls, 1 classic now, and a bikini girl.
Yeah, it's a great environment, but I think for me, I took myself out of that. I took myself out of everything, and all I listened to was Jay.
Yeah.
That was it the whole way through.
I just remember seeing photos in the bathroom, just kind of, fuck me, week on week, you were just like, Jesus, okay.
Yeah. Just training with him day in, day out.
Because
and he pushed each other. 12 months ago, he showed belief in me. And
you just push each other, don't you? It's like, see, I've always trained hard because obviously, like, the girls see yeah. But like, even when I was training with him, like, if he was dragging, I'd, like, say I could see him tired, I'd be like, I'm gonna fuck Darren up even more. And that's and I did, but I ended up fucking myself up twice as bad. I can't remember we got back from Tunisia?
yeah.
And I was like, I could see him like dragging like 4 weeks. I'm like, he's not fucking dragging, I'm gonna fuck him up. But I fucked myself up so bad I legit could not train legs for 10 days.
Well, you're happy to do that to see you suffer.
But I was the one who suffered.
Yeah.
I suffered twice as bad. I was like, I literally couldn't even lift my leg up. Because I would be like, okay, he's fucked. So I'm going to pick the hardest exercise. I'm going to do hack squat, I'm going to do front squat, I'm going to do pendulum squat, I'm going to do every hard movement I can. 2 hours of legs. And I was the one that was crippled by the end of it.
I think during this prep, early on in the prep, most leg sessions, about halfway through, I went through up.
Yeah, you did throw up about 4 or 5 times.
Oh yeah, came back. But
Came back, I thought, I'd be like, where the fuck's Darren gone? Where's my training partner? But he come back and he did the work, do you know what I mean?
It was exactly the same as when I used to train with Ran.
Yeah.
And he was getting ready for a show. Like that. I see
Yeah.
you struggle, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah, that's because
I do 20 reps and I'm blown out my ass. He'd do 20 reps and you fucking prick.
Yeah.
I'm 30 now.
it's the best way because you bounce each other. So whether like he's there like pushing me or he's dragging his ass, I'm gonna push him. But regardless, I'm gonna get a good workout anyway because I'm either gonna be pissed off that he's dragging his ass, I'm gonna push even more, or I'm gonna get him pushing me. Do you know what I mean? So you bounce off each other, and I think that's what's like a lot of people don't have is that person there that can do
On the
that.
same mentality, I think. You know,
Yeah.
we're willing to just go
Balls
so we
out.
can't go.
Do you know what I mean?
But you know, no matter how much you fuck each other up, that you both respect each other
Yeah.
enough, and it's never, if there's like an injury or something, you know when to back
Yeah,
off.
to back off. Yeah, like I know you
Not
get
a
a
purpose
few.
to try to hurt you
Yeah.
or fuck you up
Yeah.
anyways. Just push
Not
you
trying to
to
abuse you,
the
basically.
Yeah. Yeah, because you train shoulders on your own the whole crap.
Yeah,
I didn't train shoulders once the last shoulders.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I'm lucky that I haven't really had, touch wood, any injuries at all. Somehow I've survived it. But I keep it.
How old is he?
Yeah.
27, no, it was 20, 25?
Yeah, I keep on top of like deep tissue a lot and stuff like that. So I think it makes a huge difference.
Did you stretch a lot?
I actually used to. No, at this show I was like, right, I'm gonna do the splits on stage. So I actually, I got a stretching lady to help me like every day, but it was too much to take. Yeah, she actually come and join me. Nothing dodgy, like, but so I actually got her to help me out, and then eventually it takes its toll on you. Like, fuck, I can't do, cardio, glutes, pose, stretch. Before I'd done meal one, I'd done like 2.5 hours in the gym. I was like, and then I got to go back for a 2-hour workout, and I got deep tissue. So something I had to give. But I kind of kept on top of the deep tissue and did the stretching, but kind of not as intense. I just did like 10-15 minutes after like legs, 10-15 minutes after back. And then that helped massively make sure that I wasn't getting injured, I think, big time. And now I still keep on deep tissue. So even like when I was here, I got Lisa to do like a session every day on me.
But the thing is, like, you don't train like a dick. Everything's full range of motion, everything's controlled.
Yeah.
So that makes it, yeah. You see someone that's just bollocking out, don't give a shit about spine or whatever else, where everything you do is controlled.
Yeah.
You're not stretching.
But I used to train like a dick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think as I got older, I learned that, like, okay, I've got to be a bit smarter with this, because how long can I last train like that?
You're about 27, 28.
So, yeah, exactly. I used to say I'm going to be fucked by the time I'm 30 if I carry on training like this. So even though I still train like hard, I have to train a bit smarter as I got older. And even still now, people have to tell me, like Ricardo told me a lot of times, right, train smart now, don't. Like, I remember going to try and train legs like 7 days, I was like, don't train legs, Jay. He's like, I know what you're going to do, don't bother. So I'd be like, I actually said to him, like, can you stand next to me and just make sure I do the right reps? Just to make me back off, because if someone's not there to make me back off, then I'll just go all out. So even like Darren had to I'd be like, it's about right way, and he'd be like, yeah, it's about right. I was like, okay. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I have definitely started training smart as I got older.
Yeah.
Because I know I ain't gonna last otherwise.
You need to, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I used to every year come close to a show. I tore something in my leg for about 5 years straight.
Yeah.
In different legs, and obviously I didn't learn.
How many legs you got? Different legs, I used to this one and this one.
This one's better now.
So, yeah.
But,
So obviously you you work with Chris Cito. What's your
Chris is very interesting. Chris is like honestly, I worked with Chris for 3 years now, and he's probably the best coach I worked with. Before I worked with FAC for 3 years as well, and then I had the opportunity to work with Chris, so I started working with Chris. And Chris,
that's the thing. That's the thing. He said opportunity. It is an opportunity.
yeah, it is, because if you get his loyalty, he does look after you. Like, Chris has been there for me every email, every message. I can't fault a thing he's done.
No matter what time zone.
What time zone, even if I'm it's 2 a.m. for example, I set my alarm for you. Do you know what I mean? That's as an amateur. That's not even as a top pro like Sean or any of his other top pro. That's just as an amateur for the last 2-3 years, which is shows that he puts a lot into the sport and into bodybuilding. And at first it was a bit strange, because the way he replies, you'll know yourself. You'll send a picture okay, pics tomorrow, and you're like, what?
I was just saying, you take a photo and you go, oh shit, you're best you be, fuck.
Yeah. So it does take some getting used to, because he is one-word answers a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then he'll have to have a little conversation with
But
you.
you know what though, speaking to Sean Roden, that's exactly how he replies to Sean.
Yeah, and Sam said the same when I spoke to Sam. I was like, just bear in mind that he's very One word answer.
See, last year he got Ramadan, so obviously he's fasting.
Yeah.
And his answers were even more. He may as well just like written an emoji or something.
Sometimes, sometimes I do realise like he must be half asleep here because he's speaking like yoga to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that even
And then like 5 minutes later you get a follow-up email.
Yeah. It'd be like in riddles. Like, we're trying to work out what he said in riddles. Like, this don't make no sense. But nah, he's been great. He's like things that he does I would never do, and it seems to work. Do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't I can never guess what he's trying to do. Like I'll be like, okay, I think he's gonna do this, and then he'll do something totally opposite. Like, what the fuck? And then it'll work, and I'll be like, okay, that's just random. Do you know what I mean? But he's been like very interesting to work with, and every prep's been different. Like no prep has been the same. I remember my first prep, man, he refed me like in 2000 when I did the Welsh review. He refed me like 2 days every 5 to 6 days. I was eating burgers throughout the whole prep. I was like, man, this prep is amazing. Do you know what I mean? This is like the best prep ever. And then the next prep was like totally different. And then this prep was even more different. You know what I mean?
That Welsh show, you wouldn't have his old supers.
I was the light heavies then.
That was the first year they didn't have an overall in that Welsh show.
Yeah.
I'm fucking glad.
Yeah, that was a good show actually.
You talked to me the last time, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Neil ran the show.
He did,
So that was the first year I worked with Chris, and then obviously I did the last year I did the amateur Olympics and that, and then this year. So it's the third year.
Do you remember the off season or was it just contests?
So in the off season I kind of like work with him by sending me pictures and I just eat what I want. And I just, if he tells me I'm too fat, then I'm like, okay, I gotta scale back. But I kind of do my own thing in the off season. So like this off season I'm doing like 5 clean meals and 1 cheat meal every day. And you know, it'd be like I go get a burger and maybe dessert, and then I'd do like 4 or 5 clean meals throughout the day. And then I send pictures every week, and he'd be like, okay, still good, keep going. I'd be like, okay. But I made sure like I came off everything for pretty much the whole off season, just to make sure my body was healthy. And I think that was one of the big reasons why I responded so well in prep, because I literally didn't take any I did that TRT dose.
He's very low.
Yeah.
I showed you, he's so low.
He's very low.
See Wimbledon.
Yeah. Like even when I remember about 7 weeks out, I was like, I can't believe how low you take it. And I do agree that the stuff's better in Dubai than it is here, but still he was like, I can't believe how little you're actually using. And I think that was one of the biggest things that I learned this year was that having more time off was more beneficial. Like I came off everything for like 16, 20 weeks, like everything. So it definitely helped a lot when I came to prep because I was able to use like smaller dosages and get the same results in a way. My body's healthy. And I'm a big believer that that's because I've got some muscle density now, which helps a lot. It's not like I need to realistically I see myself in the 212 category, it's not like I need to go, okay, I need to get fucking huge, so I need to push the boat. You know what I mean? It's more like refine, retain, and I don't think you need to do anything stupid to get there. Whereas I think it's a bit different. Like I do believe that you have to push to a certain extent to get the tissue, but once you've got the tissue, I feel like you can almost back off a little bit to retain it and just refine.
Yeah, everything shows muscle really. It's like now you
don't.
It's there. It's
once you've got that density in that tissue, it doesn't go, in my opinion.
A lot of down to your genetics as well.
Yeah, a lot of it is genetics.
212 or above,
Yeah.
don't you? So, what do you weigh on stage?
Like I was, so I've been about 208 to 211.
So do you think you'd be much better for you trying to go to the open class?
It's like, in my opinion, the well, it's like I'm 5'6", so what am I going to do in the open?
I mean, to try and get as big as some of those guys.
You have to push it, and then like, do you spoil your physique by trying to push it there? Probably, because I'm known for like my lines, my waist is quite small, so realistically, trying to get to 240, 250 on stage, which is what I'd probably have to be like. Dexter's what 5'6" and 230 or 235. Yeah, you know what I mean. And Bonak's pushing it now, and you can see it in his physique. And he's like my height, a little bit shorter. So I realistically think like where you're going to take it. I know I could be a top 212 guy, but an average open. You know what I mean? Or an open that can't place.
like this freak here.
Yeah, like
walking around at 280 pound.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm never gonna be 280.
Yeah, for me it's just trying to get anywhere near that.
I'd have to push the ball.
My body in that house.
Yeah,
So,
I'm probably
I'm not
slowly
pushing
Yeah.
that. I'm not pushing that at all.
No, it was actually the biggest box for some
You
reason.
was born up for
Yeah.
200 pound, weren't you? You were poor man.
So I do feel like you've got.
You did with your first birthday.
But yeah, that's where I see like, you know, I know I can be a very, very competitive 212 because the way I look at like the top 5, they're all like 10 years on me. So I know in 10 years I can be around there, but I wouldn't say I could be a competitive opener. But then you never know. Look at Bonak. He couldn't do nothing in the 212s and went to open and just exploded. So I guess you'll never know until where you, like you said, like where your genetics will take you. Because they may allow you.
I don't believe Williams pushing his body with like
No,
side things
I
to
don't
get to that side.
definitely not.
His genetics
It's
just
just-
taking that.
Yeah,
far,
his genetics has allowed him to go there, and probably by not restricting himself to the 212 class has allowed him to grow even more
Yeah.
into the open. Whereas, you know, you see some people really pushing to be at the top of the open,
Massive amount
like
of drugs and
like
peptides
Dallas,
and
like, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
They look like Dallas. It's-
You can see in
you
them
can see it in
and
their, yeah, and the way they look. Guys like 20, my age, looking like 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can definitely see the strain that it takes in the body.
Yeah,
But that's the problem is people think that more's better all the time, and more's not better. Better's better. You know what I mean? It's quality over quantity.
and like you were saying about having that time off, it gives
Yeah.
you massive advantages. Don't it?
Yeah, and it's, you know, even when I'd be honest, when I was younger, like taking the time off was hard. It's like, fuck, don't can I go back on? Can I go back on? Some like, can I go back on? Can I do more? But then when you start getting older, you actually realise that it's just not beneficial. Giving your body a break. Like Chris said to me that Jay, all that came off like absolute nothing for 16, 20 weeks. Like Reagan, absolutely nothing for 16, 20 weeks. And it shows in the physique when you look at the progress.
But look at Jay now.
He's healthy, man.
He's trying to slim down.
Yeah, he looks
amazing.
great.
For his age,
It's absolutely amazing.
He's one of the few like bodybuilders that come out like literally pretty good coming out. Some of the
Yeah.
like a lot of them come out.
When he was here, he said that he's down to what, 240 or something?
Yeah.
That's not fucking small.
No, it's not small at all. He's a big guy.
I'm trying to lose muscle and I'm
Yeah.
doing cardio, I'm not hitting weights. And he can't get the muscle off him now because he went to that
To that level. But like he's definitely like one of the healthiest looking guys who's been at the top of the game.
Now what is he now?
He must be like 45, 46, but he looks great. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's because he was obviously smart with what he did, he wasn't stupid, which I think makes a huge difference.
And his training, you know, what he was saying here when he was at his biggest, his training was kind of similar to what you're doing. And
Yeah.
that's probably from Chris.
Yeah, probably, yeah. 'Cause
He
Chris
was training
Rowan
twice a
years.
day a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Volumes now.
yeah. Really smart training, and then you're taking the muscles to failure.
And then you get in and out. Like that's the way I've been doing it now, is just get in the gym, get the pump, go. Because especially like when you're ready, you're not gonna build no thick tissue now. That's done in the off season. That's when you can like, you know, push the boat a little bit more. But when you're like this far out, you just gotta get the blood in the muscle and fuck off. It's by the sounds like get in, get the job done like we did. What did we do on back today? Three exercises. Legs
The
yesterday.
last exercise was like a series of.
Yeah, it's just the one. Like even legs yesterday, we did leg press. I know we did different methods. We did leg press, hack squat, and a V squat, and that was it. In and out.
Just for the viewers, you had a warm up, didn't you? And Aaron was on the floor.
Aaron was dying.
Oh,
Aaron's dying. We're gonna put that.
It's amazing the leg press. I'm just looking at this shit. Right, 5 all the way down, holding for 5 all the way back, that 5 times, then 20 reps. I was like, oh, easy. And you know, the lactic acid builds.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this on iTunes, you definitely need to watch this on YouTube. We've got the video of this.
Just FYI, that's not my style of training. So I was
No,
like,
bitch, just put it that wasn't my style.
I want to
the corner.
the second warm up set. Aaron was dripping in sweat,
Horrible.
steam coming off his head.
That's my girl's like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, it's very different, but it's
But
like
it's good.
it's good, it's productive, and the amount of tension you're under, like you don't need to do the 5, 6.
But you know what's crazy? My knees didn't hurt.
Great, yeah.
My lower back didn't hurt at all. And it was like, even now I'm
It's
sore.
smart, isn't it? Yeah,
Like,
it's all under the quad.
You know what's good as well, when you suddenly you've got lines in your legs, you know you're going to do a leg session where you've got no lines,
Yeah.
it's just like you're
Just
fine,
bumps,
sort of
yeah.
pumps, yeah. That's been a good session, but it's good, when your knees should never get comfortable, you get comfortable, you get complacent,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
you go backwards.
That's why I get to my training every day, because I don't ever have a say in it. It's just, oh shit, that's what I gotta do.
So I enjoyed that last year, coming in here
Yeah.
to Ultimate Fitness, because it was kind of turn up, what we're doing, what we're doing, this. I didn't get a saying, I didn't want to say it, I didn't want to think about it,
Yeah.
I just wanted to get on with
That's
it.
what's
You
nice.
just want to get out.
Get in and get out, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like we're going to training tomorrow, and that's probably pretty much going to be the case. I'm going to be like, why the fuck did I decide to go this? And they're filming it, so you know it's going to be, they're going to do some crazy shit.
We spoke to Mike yesterday, we're going to get Mike on the podcast as well. I
that'd
just
be
thought I'd tell you. Mike and Lisa are going to come on. Because
They know their shit. They know their shit.
yeah,
They're very, very
many
clever
people
guys.
Not many people know much about them really. They're kind of like they've been around for donkey's years. And
Yeah,
they're
the
not
years
sort of
and years of experience, and
Yeah.
some of the best trainers that I'd say are around in the country, and
But
probably
yeah.
in Europe and the world, when it comes to knowing.
But it's
the
kind of
body.
like, it's a little bit like Sai, like it's very understated how much they've given back to
Yeah.
bodybuilding. Like not many people know exactly what Sai's done for bodybuilding, and that's what this podcast and everything we're doing is all about. Is giving back to the British people,
Yeah,
really. So
I just want to touch on something. Like Dean always asks this question. It's a good question to ask, I think.
what gear were you on for your last show?
Dean asked this question. Like I watch you two training, and it's like when you're talking now, you're laughing at it. When you're training, it's like
Yeah, it's
like
serious.
you're in
It's work
different
now,
zone.
isn't it? It's
It's
time,
like
time to go to work.
it's really scary. I was like, shit. Should I say like?
yeah.
like,
But when
like,
it's like that's when like people like sometimes will be like, oh, he's a dick, but it's not. I'm a dick. I'm just training.
You're in the
Like
zone,
if
it's
I'm in the
serious,
zone,
man.
don't come talk to me. Even if you try to be nice to me, I'll like I've like had a go at a few people in the gym because I'm in my zone, and then after my session I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, like I'm just in my zone. Do you know what I mean?
I had that the other week. Shoulders. This kid comes over to me. Good physique. Excuse me, mate. I need some advice on gear. I'm like, fuck off. I don't
Yeah,
want to talk about
you
fucking
do
gear,
because
especially I'm mid.
That's when you're in your work zone, and that's when you're working. So when I'm training, I'm serious, and if you know, because I'm close to a show, I got my shit to do. So anyone who's trying to like take me off track, I'm like, nah, I've got to train. So it's like even like when you turn up late the other day, I was like, I'm starting.
Yeah, no.
I was like, I'm fucking starting. Like I ate an hour ago. I got a show. I got to train.
Yeah, fair.
Do you know what I mean? But when I'm not, like when I'm out here, I'm joking, I'm laughing. Do you know what I mean? But when you're in the gym, it is work. It's
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's our work. You know?
it's this, you know, it's what you do.
It's what
You
you do.
don't go to a business meeting in the office and start fucking around and laughing and joking, do you? That's when it's serious.
So I actually hadn't finished asking the question. So, like, that work ethic, not everyone has it. Like, Dean always says, like,
Yeah, you gotta be fucking mental.
something
Yeah.
fucked up must have happened in your childhood.
Not necessarily
It's not
childhood.
fucked up.
Just blame my mum.
But, like, you must have been through some difficult circumstances at some point to build up that,
Mike and Lisa.
Mike and Lisa.
Yeah, my abusing me.
that
Yeah.
mental strength.
But I don't know, like it's always been that. But I guess it's you've either got it or you don't. You're either born with it, you know, born with work ethic, or you're not. I wouldn't say like my childhood was fucked up that like it made me like that. But I've always wanted to be better. Like I played sport from a young age, so I was always, you know, driven to be better. Like my dad
really
always.
to be able to take yourself to the level
Yeah.
that you do, you've had to
You gotta,
suffer in
yeah.
some way.
You gotta
So
like.
Is it you never felt you was good enough, so you had to
Yeah,
push
I
for
guess
more
like
to be
that's
better?
probably why. It's probably because you're the most critical of yourself, so you don't leave anything to chance. Do you know what I mean? You make sure you've done what you can do to be the best you can be. So you don't like. That's probably what I'd say. It's like you said, you never feel you're good enough, so you always pushed harder to make sure that you could be the best you could be. But I wouldn't say anything fucked up happened in my mum gave me a good childhood.
I think you
So if
fucked
my mum
your-
watches this, thank you for my upbringing.
I think you fucked yourself.
Yeah.
Up,
Definitely.
mentally, like suffering in your head, always fighting. You're
Yeah.
not good enough to push for more.
Because I'm probably the most critical person on myself. Like when I look at my physique on stage, I'm like, okay, that needs to be better, that needs to be better. I never come off stage and be like, oh, I look fucking amazing. I'm always like, okay, what's next? Nah, this can be bigger. I need to get thicker, I need to get denser. That's the first thing I think after a show is, am I happy? Yeah, I'm happy with how I looked, but I know
I think that's a very good attitude to have, though, if you want to be a competitor.
If you want to be the best, I'm pretty sure Phil Leaf doesn't turn off stage when he wins the Olympia or Sean Roden and be like, oh, I look fucking absolute mint. I'm pretty sure he's like, nah, I need to be better next year. And I think when you get someone that's happy with how they look is when they don't progress. And they're never that good on stage. Because they're like, oh, I look mint. Like, I don't train in a vest my whole prep. But I don't train in a vest because I know that if I might look at myself, I might be like, oh, I don't have a fucking clue how I look in a vest. The first time I'll know is when I shoot for Flex on Friday. And that'll be the first time I've actually shot in a vest the whole prep.
Your attitude reminds me a lot of Ran.
Yeah.
He's very similar. He won't even look in the fucking mirror.
No, I won't, because I know I'll overanalyze myself. I'll be like, nah, I don't look good. And even like now, I'm thinking,
do you hate yourself, you look? Or
I don't know, like, even like I might even go into Flex and be like, damn, I thought I looked better. I'm not even that impressed with how I look. After all this work, I'm like, oh, like shit, like what the hell? But I do think that's like, I don't know, it makes you as well just focus on your training.
Yes.
Because you can't go, look, oh, my bicep looks big. Like, nah, you just fucking train. So hood up, you know, long sleeve.
So what would you say are your best body parts?
Sorry. Darren, could you answer that? What happened in your childhood?
Yeah.
What happened in your childhood?
Did Jamie fuck you up?
I don't know. For me, I think it's like once you do it once, you go to that level, and you come away from that session, and you feel fucking good about yourself. You know, you're like, fuck. You want to feel that every session.
Do you think it's the need for significance for you to some way of standing out?
Yeah. And you know, you're doing. You know, there's something good about you. Feel amazing about knowing that you've done something that like 99% of people won't fucking do.
Yeah. But as well, you've had like, I don't know if you know Darren's story. I don't know if he wants to talk about it, but that's probably pretty interesting to know your background of all what happened.
Yeah. So like people who know me closely, and I've spoken out about it in the past, but I think now this kind of has skyrocketed a little bit. A lot more people are aware who I am now. But like I suffered from depression for 3 years, so you know, I think that's what drives me. You know.
So this massively jumps out at me, that cry to feel significant, to stand out. I mean, I went through that as a child as well, and when I started winning things, it was the first time somebody congratulated me, and it gave me a feeling I never felt before, and that got so addictive. I wanted more of that.
I had that as a child. Like as a child, I was like a prodigy in sport. You know, I played rugby like the top level. I played hockey at top level, and I went through all the way like just cruising along in life, and then that got taken away from me, and that fucked me. You know, and I went down to like nothing, and then this has just brought that back for me and given me purpose, given me drive, you know, and a career. So
it becomes an addiction.
Yeah, you know, you feel good about yourself, and it's like, you know, I feel, but we spoke about it in Sydney, how massively privileged we feel like to be able to. How many people can say that what we've travelled this year, where we've been, the place, like we're stood in like Sydney Harbour looking at the Opera House, we're like, fuck.
So would you say that the training helped you to overcome the depression?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it gives me purpose. You know, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. That was my biggest thing for the last couple of years. Was I didn't feel like I'd accomplished anything. You know, I was doing shit in work. I was doing. You know, I felt like I'm married and I've got a wife who, you know, who's amazing at what she does, and I always felt insignificant. You know,
it really fascinates me how people's brains work and why they do things, and it's always similar. Not similar stories, but similar reasons why people
like
do
we go into a session and like we can do yesterday with legs and that can fuck me and I can feel like shit, but man, that feels 100 times better than how I felt a year ago.
Progression, the key to happiness. Keep moving forward. You'll be in a constant happy state.
I never feel as low as I did then. So every day is a day better. You know.
Aaron's just showing me some of your pictures
just
now.
Pull
Your
up the 12
progression
difference. It's
incredible,
surreal, man. That's like. Yeah.
Well, you got that drive, that fire in you to do that in 1 year.
Some of these before and after photos, you see them, you're like, this is a game of spot the difference, isn't it? You know what I mean?
We're pushing the belly out, sucking it in.
They've got a shade, but that is a genuine, like, mind-blowing difference. And you can just, from top to bottom. I mean, the thing is as well, my big gripe at the moment with Classic is that the guys doing it are just small bodybuilders. They're just small.
There's not very
shit
many classic
There's not many
looking bodybuilders.
And the thing is, classic means small waist, small joints, big legs, nice V-tape.
Yeah.
You don't need to be like a jacked up.
No, but
The guy who won the Arnold's, what was his name?
George the
Yeah,
Bull.
he's not.
Like, for example, the guy who came second
But
is more classic.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you still got to turn up and nick, and those guys at the Arnold's didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
They were soft.
Like
the guys
Keon
behind
was
them,
soft, man.
Yeah.
It's
Which
all
has
well and
the-
good, but
all
it's
the
a complete
class- yeah.
package, you know. And you can never ignore someone who's
In nick.
peeled. So at the end of the day,
And
like
George the Bull is in.
Like
fucking nick.
I'm a firm believer in the classic look, but at the end of the day, if those fuckers aren't turning up in nick and they look 4 weeks in, they don't deserve to be the Arnold champion.
But this is the thing at the moment. It's kind of, especially in the amateur circuit. It's like they make the height to weight ratio because they're small. It's not because they've got a tiny waist, and it's an illusion, isn't it? It's a genetic thing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And my biggest gripe is you've got these guys with no muscle, missing body parts, wide waist, and it's like, well, I'm classic. It's like, you're not classic at all.
Or
You're
even
not.
like, my biggest hate is men's physique guys thinking they're too big for men's physique and going up to classic. But at the end of the day, like, I ain't being funny, but Jeremy's not small. You know what I mean? Like, Bundia's not small. Like, you know, Sadiq wasn't small and moved to classic and got like annihilated in classic and is now going back to physique. These guys are big. Like Ryan Terry's not a small guy.
No.
You know what I mean? He looks crazy. So I think, like, you know,
It's just a different look.
it's just a total different look, and a lot of the men's physique guys are getting a bit too ahead of themselves, being like, oh, I'm gonna go up to classic, and like, no, like, you've got a wicked men's physique, just progress in men's physique and
Put it this way, I'm like nearly 20 pounds under my stage weight limit.
Yeah.
You know,
But then-
and I'm still a heavyweight bodybuilder. If I was a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
I'm still 100 kilos on stage.
How tall are you?
5'10",
It's not even that tall.
170. I'm 179 centimeters.
Yeah.
because most heavyweight bodybuilders are 5'5", 5'6". Realistic, that's what all height we are. Most super heavyweights are, you know, the 5'7", 5'8" upwards.
So he's basically just saying, I'm really skinny, 5'7".
I think Supers is kind of 5'9".
Yeah, 5'8", yeah, I suppose. I guess the 212's always 5'6",
It's
5'5".
progressed and I think as the years have gone on, bodybuilders got shorter and,
Yeah,
and
wider.
bigger. It's
Like a can of Pepsi.
yeah, not easier to pull that look off. If you get
Regularly, people will see pictures of us standing next to each other. We're the same weight.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, and I don't look anywhere near as big as he does.
let's say it's not like you're lacking muscle
No.
compared to him. It's just completely
That,
different look.
as I
innit?
was saying, that's the thing. You've got that classic. You look like a classic guy.
Yeah,
You-
like he do the vacuums.
Yeah.
No, he does the vacuum properly.
Yeah.
He's not just like me. I would never do a vacuum because it looks stupid. Do you know what I mean? So I see these bodybuilders practice vacuum. I'm like, why the fuck is he doing a vacuum? Like, it doesn't look right. You know what I mean? You gotta have the small waist and the big leg sweeping.
I don't like it.
And I don't even like the pose.
the vacuum.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I see guys do the pose, I'm like, that looks good on them, but I ain't gonna fucking try to do it.
It's impressive to have that ab
Yeah.
control, but I don't like how it looks in
Nah.
the pose.
Not on a bodybuilding stage as well. Personally, I'd rather just they contract their abs and show some fucking quad.
Yeah.
Not have a descended gut.
But that's the opposite then. If somebody can't control their stomach at all,
Yeah.
it looks atrocious on stage, doesn't it?
That's what I actually find is the thing in the 212 class that it's lacking is a lot of those guys are blocky and can't control the midsections. Because realistically, at 5'4", 5'5", at 212 pounds,
It's a
you're
lot.
gonna be pretty
That's right.
blocky, like if you're not careful with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Especially
get
the
the
shorter
odds.
guys at 5'5", 5'4", 5'3".
Yeah. It's like they've just been squashed
Yeah.
to come out. I know. You get the odd freak like Lee Priest
Yeah.
in his prime. He seemed to have a long torso on
But
such
he
a
was
short
like you said,
frame.
just a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get that.
How do you look? How do you have that much muscle and still
Yeah.
look good?
Good, yeah.
It's crazy. I think it's because he had a long torso.
It's just genetics.
Yeah.
Genetically blessed, I guess, isn't it?
Freak. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, guys. Like, I think I've asked all the questions that I wanted to know from these guys.
Is that all? You got no other questions?
No, I haven't got any
Sure.
questions about gear,
No?
gear use, gear
You-
like
you're a
they were
changed
waving
man.
this the gear up, man. I know. Honestly, small doses, man. That's what I do.
That's what you learned today.
You're feeling like you just shit your kidney out earlier. You've had a change.
It's there, like, gotta go jab now.
Are we finally getting through to you?
He's starting to look decent, actually, isn't he?
I don't
I see
want to
his
say
progress
it
on
yet.
Flexing every 2 minutes on
Don't see
Instagram.
him training though, do
You know, yesterday, right? So I had a look at him in the gym. He's like, hang on, I just pump up. I was like, what? Just pump up for it, so I to have a look at it.
He trained legs. He did a warm up, and then I seen him doing bicep and chest. And I'm like, what are you doing? You train legs? Oh, I gotta have a pump up because Si's gonna have a look at me.
The best time for somebody to look at you is first thing in the morning.
You're flat.
Or after
Yeah.
cardio.
Like I always take my pictures for Chris. Like
Yeah, first thing.
I never even take him with a. I don't do. I just get up out of bed, take my pictures. Because at the end of the day, like that's realistic version of me. And then if he asked me to take a post workout, then it's a total different story. But I never even.
Do you
Do them
find
same time, same place every
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
First thing in
Do
the
you
morning,
find when I mean I go pretty low carb, so I go flat anyway. When I train and I'm close to a comp, I kind of double in size.
Yeah.
Do you get that look?
I get a look, but I almost like feel when
Doesn't
I.
know because he never looks at himself.
That's true. But when I find that when I'm pumped, I almost look a little bit like not as conditioned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
You're
actually
gonna see
prefer
the
how I
detail.
look in the morning because I generally see more detail. And even when I'm backstage pumping up, I don't really over pump now. I just pump a bit of lats, a bit of chest, and then just go on. I don't try be like. I see guys pumping up like 2 hours before the show, and I'm like, fucking hell. Like if I did that, I'd look like shit on stage. Do you know what I mean? You rather have the detail there, so
Yeah. If you over pump a muscle, it just
yeah,
blows it out.
blows it out of proportion. Do you know what I mean? And looks distorted. So.
So,
So you sure you're not?
So
going
now
there?
you got to take your pictures flat.
Yeah.
hey, this is.
I mean, I've been giving Z so much shit because he keeps saying about competing, and he was so atrociously fat.
we were
it's-
bulking. We were.
He's been bulking since birth. But
Wilkinson's
Permabulk.
Permabulk.
I don't
seafood
want to. I
diet.
don't want to say it because I think me giving him this much abuse is giving him a bit of willpower to actually
This is
push a
what's
bit
fucked
harder.
up. That's the fucked up thing that's happened in my life.
Yes.
Yeah, you.
I don't want to say it,
The
but
mental strain of Dean.
the fat's coming down, and I'm shocked to say that
He's got no
it's
shape.
coming
He's
through.
got a
And
Yeah.
good shape.
if he can get his legs up a bit, he could actually be a fucking good bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder.
I'm gonna train legs with you.
No pressure now, no pressure.
At some
You keep
point.
saying you're going to train next
Some
week, but it's
balance.
always 2 weeks time, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. It's like next week it never comes, does it? Tomorrow never comes. Let's just go and do it.
We'll do it. We'll do
Should
it.
have jumped in with them yesterday.
I was filming, wasn't
Oh yeah.
Excuses.
I? Dying on the floor.
You
Like,
could
trying to
have
hold
asked
the
me.
camera and film
I
them.
could have held the camera.
You see the state of Aaron? He was. I thought we were gonna have to pull him out, like drag him out by his legs.
It was good.
What are you weighing now?
I've lost a pound since yesterday.
Let's go get a burger in, innit?
Mate, I had so much shit
Mate,
yesterday.
hopefully I get a burger and then you can come for a
I
burger
had a
with me.
pack of 5 donuts last night and then a pack of 5 donuts this morning.
Why? Two what?
Pack of 5 donuts,
No, what do you weigh?
279.
279.
About 270 donuts then.
That's 5. I'm not some more later. I'm just loving it at the minute. I don't really give a shit. It's just,
It's just sad, isn't it? He just fucking
you know, I found
looks like a
the
dumbbell, eats
less.
a donut and walk around at fucking
No, but this
279
is the thing.
muscle.
But this is the less I give a shit, the better things seem
Yeah.
to go.
But that's just generally the case in bodybuilding. Isn't it? The less anal you are and the less like, sometimes the less like strict you are with yourself, the better you can look.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know,
It's
it's
like-
just stress.
You know what really gets me at the moment is everybody's so focused on calories in and calories out and macro. It's like it doesn't really fucking
No, like Chris said in my diet, I don't have a fucking clue how much I'm eating.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
that's the
how
thing.
many grams of this eating? I don't fucking know. I got to eat like 6 ounces of
But you
chicken.
become a slave. You get. I mean, I use my fitness pal because I like to track what I've done.
I don't have
But-
a clue how many calories I'm
But you
eating
become
now.
a slave to numbers.
Yeah,
And it's like you
you
just
do.
these real science fucking bellends. You're like, well, 3,500 calories is a pound of fat. It's like, well,
Yeah,
what?
it works on
What?
paper, but not in the real world.
No, it doesn't work in the
Nah.
real world,
Your
yeah.
body's constantly adapting.
You know,
innit?
it's something as well. And actually, if anybody can write, any listeners can write in or whatever. How the fucking hell is a calorie a calorie? How the fuck? Okay, so hang on, hear me out, right?
No, I know what you're
Calories
saying.
in, calories out is
Yeah.
bullshit. Because at the end of the day, right, even by their own method, if you take a gram of protein,
Who determines it?
no, but hang on, a calorie from protein, if you take 100 calories from protein, 30% of that is what's called TEF, thermic effective food. So 30 calories of that,
Takes that many
It's got-
calories to burn it.
yeah, to utilise it. So really, you say like 1,000 calories in protein, really is only 700.
Yeah.
Right, but then how, so how can they
fat,
say
you don't burn half as much?
But also as well, that every single study their studies ever done shows that overfeeding on protein doesn't lead to more fat gain. So how the fuck is a calorie? And then you take into consideration fibre or sugar alcohols.
Yeah.
We don't try to digest them.
No.
So a calorie isn't a calorie because those calories we can't absorb. What do fuck all with them?
But you could even go to a certain extent. It's like who determines that 4 calories in a gram of protein?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you want to look at that, like it could be like who actually came up with that?
But do you not find?
Is that bullshit?
Yeah.
And now we're just getting mad confusing. And we're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat 8-ounce chicken breast.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
But the thing is, though, these science bellends are the ones with beards wearing flip-flops.
And they look like shit.
And they look like shit.
Yeah. So
but the science. Well, you know what? The thing is, right? These prep coaches, these bodybuilders, have technically been doing a science experiment for the last 10, 15 years.
and it's still like shit.
No, but we've been doing a science experiment for the last 10, 15 years because we are our own science
Yeah,
experiment.
exactly.
We found out what works.
And everyone's body's different, so you can't put too many numbers on X and Y. Do you know what I mean? Just eat your food.
If you two eat exactly the same foods every day, your body's going to utilise that
Totally
food completely different to how he does.
It's like I found, right, I mean, my protein's been, I mean, I'm getting between 450, 500 grams of protein. I'm weighing everything out, tracking what I'm getting in, and I feel fucking brilliant. Carbs are about 100 grams.
Yeah, see, like with me, I'm like 450, say 500 grams of
apart from
carbs.
yesterday and today with the donuts.
Yeah.
But like, normally, I'm like, just stupid high protein. Sasan is exactly the same. Stupid high protein, carbs and fat really, really low.
Yeah.
And it just works. But then you speak to these science guys like, oh, well, you should be eating more carbs and less protein. It's like, yeah, but then I look like you.
Yeah.
So go fuck off. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to look like you. Yeah, it just,
Gets too confusing. So just stick to your diet and eat your fucking food. Simple. Train hard.
Train hard, yeah.
And then you'll get in shape.
Yeah. Well,
I always said to people, if you train hard, you do enough, you get in shape regardless. Just don't eat like a dickhead and train hard.
The key is consistency, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're eating the same every day, you know why your
You
body
know
looks
why your
like
body
the
looks like
week.
it does.
And any changes you make will make a change on the scales or your fat. So you just got to keep eating the same.
but how many times as well with Chris, if you sent photos, you've been the exact same weight from like week 1 to say week 5.
Yeah.
But the difference in like literally last year, I was kind of I put certain photos on the internet or whatever, and I was like on the same weight as I was 5 weeks ago. But the difference is mind-blowing.
That especially happened to me when I was younger, when I prepped with FAC, and that was the same. I remember I started prep like 205 pound fat, and then I was like 206 pound like lean. Do you know what I mean? It was like 8 weeks later.
But then the scales are a good sort of gauge, but they're not the be all.
Everything's a gauge. Pictures are, but you can only So it was all a gauge.
Yeah.
So the next time we sit down, Aaron's going to have his pro card.
Yeah, and Dean's going to go back on stage and get his
Dean's
pro card.
You've been at the Olympia. So
Hopefully.
What we said, like, Ireland, are we going in for the Olympia? What we said?
Oh, I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
How does it work with points?
So it's not in the 212.
Okay, first of all, would you go on points?
I would never go to the Olympia on points.
Would you? No. It's a pride thing, isn't it? It's
Because at the end of the day, like if I go on points, then I'm not good enough to be there.
My opinion, the Olympia is the top 26 guys in the world at the time.
Is it 26?
I think it is in classic. In the
Classic and
212 is slightly different.
Yeah.
But if you're not winning a show, you can't say you're top 26.
Yeah.
So I'd always go on a win. And I've even said, like, realistically, I don't think I'll be ready for Olympia in the next 2-3 years. I think it's doable, but I'm not ready to step on the Olympia stage yet. Right now, it's just see where I stand, hold my own. Next year, come back and see if I can win shows.
Okay.
Or
Hypothetically, you win Ireland, you win Toronto. Are you gonna do it? Even if
It
you
wouldn't
don't.
be. In classic now, you actually have to, it's points.
points.
You
212.
have to do
yeah.
points.
Yeah, you have to do
Staff
points.
do
So
points
you
now.
get a certain amount. So they've tiered the shows. So Toronto's like a tier 2 show. So you win, you get 15 points.
So what's a tier 1 show then?
Arnold's a New York Pro, I think.
So that makes it harder to qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, so potentially,
they did this with
you could, like, for
bikini,
example,
yeah, bikini.
I could go to Toronto and win Toronto and get 15 points. Some other guy can do 10 shows and place 5th in them and have more points than me and go.
Yeah. Was the 212
But
still?
they have to, because they can
shows?
only have, there's over 26 shows now for Classic Physique Pro. So they're only allowed 26.
Cheaper sanction fees, isn't it, than a 212 or a...
Whereas like the 212, there's not actually that many shows. I think there's only like 12, 15 maybe.
It was Ireland was good last year. I enjoyed that.
It was
So,
a small show.
Brian Bullman runs a good show.
Yeah, nice guy. Nice guy. I was in, because I know Hamid. Like, we were in the hotel and we were talking. We had to like do the athletes meeting thing, and he came down. Brian did. He was talking to me and Hamid for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes. It was.
The thing is with Ireland is they feel privileged to have them there. You know, it's not like they really want it there. He loves it. Yeah, exactly. So it's like they'll go out of their way to make the athletes feel special.
Yeah. No, he's a nice guy, Brian. It was a well-run show.
Dave Henry qualified there.
Yeah,
mate. You know what, right? I mean, I've seen that's how I hooked up with Chris. Was Masoom. I've known Masoom for a bit now.
Yeah.
And I saw Masoom, and it just the look of the pros compared to the amateurs is just something. I mean, Hamid was kind of close to it. It's weird. It's like it's like Sassan, right? I mean, and Nathan, when they turned pro, their physique just sort of like
blew up.
Well, no, blood. He just looked
like a pro.
But
special.
Do you know what?
Weird,
you can see why, because when you turn pro, your attitude changes too.
Yeah.
You do. You change.
I was
You're
going
like,
to say the same, yeah.
It's the drive.
You step it up, don't you?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, I need to step my game up now.
Nobody
Like,
wants to go on any kind of stage and come fucking last, do they?
no.
So you're like, I'm against the best in the world now.
They gotta work
It's
harder.
not
you treat
fucking
it differently. You don't just treat it like it's a hobby.
like you're a pro.
But all of a sudden, your amateur career is now
Over.
It's your job, and you're now pro. So it's all about priorities in your life, and my training, my food, and everything is now the priority of my fucking life.
Whereas
That
when you're an
comes
amateur,
first.
it's slightly different. It's
Yeah.
a hobby almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me as an amateur, my off season, I know I don't eat anywhere near enough.
Yeah.
If I turned pro and I was going to go for a pro show, my fucking diet would
Off-season,
be on
yeah.
point every day. every
year
single
round.
year.
Yeah, damn right.
Even the way you're kind of outside sort of life conflicts with it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, I'm married, you know, and like the attitude of my wife towards it, she has to change too, you know. You know, it's like, yeah, I may not be competing now, but I've still got to, I can't be going around like a dick and going away for 3 weeks and all inclusive holidays and stuff, and you know. Where before trying to tell her no, I'm not going to go to Greece for 3 weeks because I want to try and turn pros, but she'd be like, fuck off.
You're like,
Whereas now it's like,
pro card or marriage card.
whereas now it's like, you know, she's slowly coming around to like, okay, it's, you know, you got to treat this differently. It's a different, you know, this is life now. You know?
You're at that point, aren't you? And you got the twins and all the rest of it. It must be
It's off
hard.
balance, man.
It's not just that though. I mean, obviously, I'm you know, my work is quite important.
It's demanding, isn't it?
Politically as well. I'm quite, you know, heavily involved politically in the local area.
You can't be dieting your ass off and being brain dead
Sugar
and
music, but I
going to
mean-
work, and you can't function properly, can you?
I'd like to, but it's kind of that's not gonna. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would like to, but
it'll happen.
I fucking hope so.
Let's get back up with Chris, get a show locked down. It's game time.
I might email him.
Yeah,
Start
fuck
taking
it.
those pictures.
Yeah,
There's
pictures tomorrow. Let's go.
Best speed.
Yeah.
Best stupid. I mean, I can't remember what somebody asked me up here. I think it might be Claire McKee. She was asking me questions like, what's he like to work with? I was like, Claire, like nobody works the same as he does.
Yeah.
Nobody. Like he's expensive, but you get your money's worth because of the way he is. He's like on you 24 fucking 7.
he doesn't
even,
say-
even as a shit amateur, as I am, he's on you 24/7. Sassan told me you feel like you're his only client, and you really do, don't you?
Yeah, it's true.
He's just different.
The best. I know I'll be with him for years and years. Like, I don't see myself working anywhere else.
I did a few times where you send an email and you kind of lose Wi-Fi, or you lose 4G or whatever, and it gets stuck in your outbox.
Yeah.
He would no joke. That happened twice, 3 times. It would get stuck in my outbox. He would mail me at 2:30, 12:30, 2:30. Anywhere between that. Everything okay? No pictures.
He's had that. I've even like passed him on clients, and he's been like, "Jay, can you get hold of this guy?" Like for me, because he's not replying to my emails. Wow. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, "Fuck, okay." I've had it a few times, innit? I've been in like the gym in Dubai. I'm like, "Gotta try to find Diesel because he's not got back to Chris."
Sure.
Chris is emailing me about him because he knows that I'll reply, and he knows that I'll be like, he knows that I'll figure out where he is. So he's on you, like he's one of the best for a reason.
Oh boys, I don't know what to do. Like I'm gonna say thank you very much, Jamie.
It's been a pleasure.
Darren,
Pleasure, man.
stopping
Honestly.
by, coming to speak to UKBeef magazine podcast. That was
good.
mint. It was really good speaking to you. I think that was a really good listen. Just hearing some of the stories.
Jail and
So-
chick flick.
You got
That's
1
the key
minute
to
if you
turning
want to
pro.
get the gear cycle.
Get yourself thrown in jail and eat Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's how you turn pro.
Literally, that's you got the blueprint right there. If you're looking to turn pro.
Yes.
On a serious note, don't go get yourself thrown in jail.
Nah, it's been a pleasure. And now we're like, shit, we gotta go eat. And back down for another session.
You got a chest, you know?
I mean,
Chest, yeah.
If you got a picture of somebody,
That's
got
Ronnie
a
Coleman's
guy's
ass.
on your,
Yeah, but
That's acceptable.
it's Ronnie, if it's Ronnie Coleman's ass on stage, it's acceptable, right?
You got Roddy Coleman's ass on stage on your phone.
it's just where
Fair enough.
you can
Fair
only
enough.
see his
Yeah.
ass.
If it was anyone else, you'd be like, okay, I'm not killing that, but it's Ronnie Coleman, so you're like, okay, I'll let him have it.
Guys, no, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your mates about the podcast. This one's going to be a banger, like literally share it with all your mates. Thank you so much for tuning in. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will catch up with you very soon.